Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I am back with another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 bot AI cast. We have got ourselves what should be a good one here today. It is going to be VeTerran, a Terran bot, taking on a Shark, or Sharkbot, a Protoss bot. So we've got ourselves a TVP here today on the map Grezvin, but more importantly, a bot versus bot, because when it comes to non-human combatants, the rules are different. And so we'll just have to see how this game goes. There's a multiple of reasons why I decided to cast this one. The first, I believe, is that I think, I don't keep super close track of the rankings, but I think VeTerran snuck up a ranking on the bot ladder. So I think it used to be 6th or 7th perhaps, but now it's ranked number 5, so a pretty darn good bot here. And taking on VeTerran is going to be Sharkbot, which kind of massacred another Terran bot in one of the latest videos I did. I believe it played Tier, and Tier kind of just didn't have the stuff to go against Sharkbot in the late game, so I was wondering, maybe VeTerran does. And that is why I decided to cast this game today. I've already had my coffee, I'm ready to go. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoy these bot versus bot casts, make sure to go ahead and slap that like button like it owes you money. Slap that like button like that SCV just slapped that probe. Leave a comment down below saying more bots if you want to see more of these bots. Join the Discord, which is linked down below. Subscribe if you tune into these videos but you're not subscribed. What's going on, man? Hit that subscribe button. And then, yeah, consider becoming a YouTube member if you do want to check out those perks. And now we will see where this game's gonna go. We have a cheeky 2 Rax Reaper going up for VeTerran, as that is a very strong build. It's gonna be a good test for Sharkbot. Sharkbot, like most Protoss bots, though, does go for a bit of tech before the expansion, so I imagine it won't be in too much danger here. However, in comes the first Reaper. Probes are pulled off the line to deal with this. The kind of probe buffering method in which you pull a couple of fresh ones off the line to drive that Reaper away, and then once they take a couple of shots, send them back. So these probes all kind of looking out for each other, almost the bee approach of defense. Just swarm them, I suppose. Now we have got more and more of those Reapers coming on in here. Looks like one probe is gonna go down. Reaper jumps into the main base. VeTerran doesn't commit to a boatload of Reapers here. It makes 4, so a bit of a macro-aggressive opening. And oh man, this is what I'm excited for from Sharkbot. In the previous match, I believe it was Sharkbot. There's going to be a lot of egg on my face if it was Sharkbot versus VeTerran in a previous game, and we're just going to see deja vu. But I think it was versus Tier that Sharkbot did this Colossus drop, and this was one of the coolest builds I've seen in a long time from a bot. It killed like 18 SCVs in that previous video, so I am all on board for this. We are gonna see whether this can have great success. Great success once more. Now VeTerran moving down, taking its command center on the low ground. Getting those getting a Raven out, still moving around the map with those Reapers. It didn't really get much done with them at all. It's gonna keep trying to make something happen with those. We'll see if a Colossus gets produced for Sharkbot once it has the gas. Interestingly enough, not saturated on that other gas. So that potentially delayed the Colossus a little bit there. We have these Reapers just stretching their legs, I guess, jumping up and down. Oh, probe comes to the wrong side of town, does get the Nexus up on the way. The Reapers are going to promptly go back to what they were doing before. We've got a bit of a push for VeTerran coming on out. This third Nexus is taking a lot of heat. I think that's going to have to be canceled, and it is. We see Sharkbot immediately try and re-expand there. There's no battery at the natural, so a lot of onus is going to be on this Colossus to defend this push. However, one Colossus in a Prism is pretty darn good, so I imagine this big boy should get the job done as long as he doesn't dilly-dally too much, and he is chasing down a siege tank. Looks like he will get the tank, a good bit of micro there, then keep pushing across the map, leave the rest of the units to defend for Sharkbot, which could actually be very problematic and is very problematic as we are seeing a lot of workers go down during this. I apologize for the plings there. Unfortunately, I had to have my notifications on so I don't just miss a text or whatever. We have got Sharkbot now going into the main base, going to try and get some counter damage done. It's been pushed a lot in its natural base, so it's having a hard time defending this. The Colossus is on the other side of the map trying to get some damage done. Okay. Looks like the defense was successful. The Colossus is on its way home. Not sure how many kills that Colossus got. We'll have to check as soon as it gets unloaded. Here it comes back home to defend. Got 19 kills on it, 20 kills on it. So a good bit of damage happened on both sides of the map. However, Sharkbot did lose a lot more workers. It's still ahead in the worker count, though. Promptly gets up at third base. And that was just just a little bit wacky there. Missile turrets are now on the way up for VeTerran, getting some defensive capabilities up there. But all in all, yeah, things seem pretty darn good for Sharkbot. It's now going into its double Stargate play, which it so loves. And then we've got extended thermal lance on the way to benefit that Colossus. He must feel like a very special Colossus, that research getting research just for him. And then we've got Stimpack on the way, +1 on the way, Phoenix on the way. So a little bit of everything going down, and I think the game doesn't really have a choice but to go into a bit of a lull, as these two bots just did so much damage to each other. There's not, like, yeah, there's not much that they can do, as they're so darn broke. I apologize if my observing was a little bit off there. I've got to go into work early today, which is why I had to keep an ear to the ground. So we've got triple probe production for Sharkbot, so its economy should get ahead of that of VeTerran. We'll see whether VeTerran gets up a third base of its own relatively soon. And then double assimilators on the way. An Immortal on the way out. Double Phoenix, triple probe, cinnamon spice, and everything nice. Stimpack on the way. And yeah, the game just stabilized a nice little bit here. The Phoenix production is on for Sharkbot, which is interesting. Phoenix I don't think are the best unit, but I understand the Phoenix Colossus composition. And we'll see if Sharkbot eventually does go into like carriers or void rays or something else. Because right now, it does seem that VeTerran is building the more lethal composition. Like, Sharkbot has only got the one Colossus and the one Immortal on the ground. Other than that, it doesn't have that much to keep itself safe. It's getting up a couple cannons at the third, however, which is nice. Both bots are macroing away. We'll see if there's going to be a fourth base going up soon for either of these two bots. You gotta love the groovy Starcraft music, that's for sure. Battery now going up, really locking down this third base, or attempt at a battery. The mining fix almost is, well, no, it literally did prevent that battery from going down there for Sharkbot. I think I've noticed that in a couple previous games, as yeah, the probes are almost hard-coded to mine their own way, so they really just want to stay locked on that mineral. whereas default Starcraft AI will get out of the way momentarily. So now we see a 4th base going up for Sharkbot, 4th base going up for VeTerran. So wow, this game really is just heading into Macro Town. And I am wondering, yeah, whether Sharkbot is going to be able to reach to that late game composition, and then whether VeTerran will be able to deal with it or not. Tempest are on the way. Tempest are one of those units that require a very particular response. We've got a fusion core now on the way for VeTerran. This is one of the reasons why I thought it might have more success, as Tier, I believe in the previous game, didn't go for any battle cruisers, whereas battle cruisers can be an answer to late game sky toss. Not necessarily always, but they can be. We've got mass siege tanks on the way for VeTerran 2. Those aren't going to do it too well against an air Protoss. However, against the ground army, they'll do real good for themselves. We've got a Thor now being produced. Thors are really good anti-air. And yeah, the macro just continues on here. After a bit of a chaotic early game, things calm down a wee bit. Okay. Yeah, both bots really are just getting everything under the sun, it seems. The 5th goes up for VeTerran, so it does expand quicker than Sharkbot. Although Sharkbot is not far behind, it seems. Building more Stargates, getting up more Colossus. The battle cruiser count now going up 2 at a time for VeTerran from 0 to 2. So that's a big increase, depending how you look at it. And no 5th Nexus yet for Sharkbot. Templar Archives on the way as well. Psystorm is absolutely lethal against just about anything, so that doesn't hurt. VeTerran's building up lots of stuff, and oh boy, we are heading for a big old battle between these two, as they've both just said, all right, gentleman's agreement, let's get maxed out before we do anything, and then let's try and kill each other with all the coolest stuff possible. Oracles are now on the way for that revelation for Sharkbot. It's getting out the mothership, charge, armor, dark shrine, that Tempest upgrade that no one can remember the name of, Teutonic Destabilizers, and oh my gosh, these production tabs are just nuts. VeTerran is seemingly going for a bit more unilateral approach, just with making pretty much just BCs at this point in the game, which I can't say I mind. We're seeing lots and lots of expansions go up for VeTerran, taking all the bases on its side of the map, and probably at some point and then some, whereas Sharkbot is expanding at a much, much slower pace. And here comes the battle, as Sharkbot throwing down some revelations. It seems their Tempest now going to start going to work, and this is the problem. Tempest are not easy to deal with, even for a human at times, so for an AI to deal with one of these, it's not going to be easy. The Protoss army moving out a little bit, potentially going to find this Terran base and kill it off. We see battle cruisers and Vikings coming on in, and all of a sudden the observing difficulty is going to get cranked up to hard as these two bots just fan out and take a big fight. The Tempest getting shots off on the battle cruisers. The battle cruisers should be able to retreat though. The Thor, I think, is going to be really important here, particularly if there's more made as this game goes on. Thor anti-air is so darn good. Tempest are not the best at killing Thors. And so far, it looks like Sharkbot's having a bit of a hard time stemming the tide. The Tempest are getting good shots off, lots of efficiency it seems, but just the rate of advance for VeTerran has been pretty hardcore. We see tanks shelling away on some of the static defense, and yeah, there just doesn't seem to be enough here for Sharkbot to defend this right now. We see Psystorms going down. The mothership does, however, fall in the middle of this. Battlecruiser dies in exchange, though. Tanks on the ground are getting cleaned up, so it looks like Sharkbot will start to clean this up as time goes on. There is still one Thor forward, working away on this base as well. If this Nexus dies, that'll be very problematic. We do see Sharkbot getting tongue-tied here. We do see Sharkbot pop the battery overcharge as it is able to save that third base. I love the use of the battery overcharge. Tempest still getting lots and lots of big shots off. What's the Tempest count? Currently 9 against 2 battle cruisers. The BCs definitely will not do the job there as they are just getting shot down as they advance. And yeah, looks like Sharkbot is holding on just fine as VeTerran bleeds out a lot of units. VeTerran is now starting to make a lot of Vikings here, which is what we want to see. The problem is it's also making siege tanks, which are not necessarily what we want to see. Sharkbot's queuing out a lot of probes as it gets up its 6th base and saturates that. Tempest are still getting great trades off. We see the Terran stim forward, trying to get aggressive once more, trying to pick off this base, but the problem is it's just bleeding off a lot of units here as VeTerran attacks into Sharkbot. The one Thor can try, but he will not succeed, although, oh my gosh, it does actually kill off one in the Tempest. Thors are no joke, man, as, yeah, are they going to get another one before they perish? One goes down, but it does take out another Tempest with it, and this is why Thors are awesome units. They are just so darn good. That one does perish. Looks like a Medivac was waiting to save it, but was unable to. And yeah, more and more upgrades are rolling for both of these bots. Looks like a slight lead for VeTerran at this point in the game as it gets its 3-3 upgrades on the way. More Thors are being produced, though, which I'm a big fan of. We got some Stalkers and Oracles harassing the space to the top. There is lots of bases up for VeTerran, though, so we're not too worried about that. We'll see if it can actually hold on to all these bases or not, as Sharkbot is now securing up its own side of the map, so we're heading into a bit of a split map situation. Siege tanks shelling away on the ground army, but the Tempests still remain largely unanswered for the most part, as they just have such high range against air targets. For those of you unaware, Tempests can shoot way farther in the air than they can on the ground. Vikings come forward, but their numbers just are not enough at this point. We have those extra Thors now coming on out. We'll see if they can pick off any more of those high-value Tempest, although the count remains to be 9. And checking, yeah, that Tempest, its anti-air range is 14, its ground range is only 10. That is a massive discrepancy there. Thor's coming on forward. I feel like he's a little bit outgunned in this one, though. Eating some shots, does pick off an Oracle. And that's the thing, Thors have such high ground-to-air range, whereas Tempest have such low air-to-ground range. That's why Thors are so darn good against them, but not when they walk forward like that into a bunch of Immortals. That is not what we want to see, as both of them go down there. That's a big loss for the Terran, and this is the problem with VeTerran. If it never pools its units and it just keeps trading on out, it will keep taking worse trades as a result. The Prism Micro from Sharkbot is still being pretty darn fancy. There's a lot of injured Immortals that have stayed alive. More Thors are being produced, but the problem is it's only 2 Thors. Then it seems to be an attack from VeTerran, whereas it needs to build up a lot more before it goes for any such attack. At some point, Sharkbot was able to get up this base. I thought for sure VeTerran would have been the one to take that location. We got more Vikings on the way, though, more Thors being produced. An attack towards this Nexus is going well until all the Tempests show up and then are just like, get on out of here. Thanks for the tanks, mate. As, yeah, VeTerran gets pushed back. There's just no answer to the Tempest. And yeah, Sharkbot's late game is just so darn good at this point. We do see an Immortal going down as it gets too far forward. However, it is still 4 Immortals here, though, so that's no joke. Resources lost is really darn in favor of Sharkbot. 27,000 to 24,000, although it looks a lot better for it looks a lot better for Sharkbot than the resources lost actually is. I guess VeTerran has been getting its licks in here and there as it kills off a decent number of units. The main thing is the Tempest are just getting a lot of the efficiency down. This attack is going unanswered though, as Sharkbot got distracted down to the bottom left here. All these Vikings are looking around for VeTerran. They find an observer, but apparently there's no scan available to kill this off. Weirdly enough, there's the scan. This attack of a Thor and a couple tanks going down towards the bottom, whereas this attack is hitting multiple, or hitting this Nexus once more, and this is one of the ways to deal with a death ball. It's to attack in multiple locations, and the army splitting for Sharkbot isn't there, which is almost a wise thing, because splitting up your death ball can lead to your death, ironically enough at times. However, this does leave Sharkbot very vulnerable as VeTerran gets these tanks sieged up on this location, and I'm not sure what prompted VeTerran to decide to attack this bottom location. It seemed for like 5 minutes straight it was just trying to break this one Nexus, and then all of a sudden it said, nope, let's try and clear out this one down here, and so it finally got some damage in. Supply is now in the lead for VeTerran. Resources lost are actually in the favor for VeTerran. This death ball does need to be dealt with, though. That's still part of the problem. We see Psystorm going down. Thors are taking an engagement. The mothership will perish. That's a high-value loss. Battlecruiser tosses out a Yamato cannon. Still a good trade, though, as far as anything with the Tempest is concerned, it looks like, though. We see VeTerran, though, pivoting now to attack towards this Nexus down here. Probes are being pulled, which isn't great for Sharkbot. As it starts to run out of resources, it's potentially going to fall into that death loop of probe production as it starts losing workers, so it starts making more probes, and then it's broke, so it can't make more units to defend itself. So Sharkbot's going to potentially have to pull off a miracle with what it has here. The ground army and the air army is just so darn good. It's not going to be easy to be killed off, as we do see another Thor step forward, but that Thor's in a lot of trouble. The Tempest are able to get some big shots off. Now they have +2 attack done for them. We do see, though, yeah, it's pretty much just probe production for Sharkbot as these Marauders just gobble them all up. 13 kills on a Marauder, 9 kills on a Marauder. This is ridiculous. Sharkbot is falling apart at the seams, and like, it's still got these Tempest, which is really good for it, but if it loses anything else, it can't really replace them. And as a result, these tanks are getting lots of damage done. The probe positioning isn't great here for Sharkbot, as we see. Like, it's trying to saturate this base down here, so it's making probes in the top right, and then it's sending them all the way to the bottom, even though there's minerals right there they could be mining, which does show a bit of a weakness as far as probe production goes. Almost shows a bit of humanity. I definitely do the same thing in my late game ladder matches, in which you're like, okay, I just gotta build workers. Doesn't really matter where to focus, where they're gonna build. I just want this base saturated. I do the exact same thing, but I do find myself saying, no, try not to select that Nexus and make workers, or to change the rally point on it. So things are looking really rough for Sharkbot. It's still the 9 Tempest in the air, but VeTerran's just almost DDoS style strategy of the mass attack seems to have worked. Sharkbot is getting some workers up on this Nexus finally. Looks like it will kill these Marauders finally, but VeTerran still has a boatload of bases, still has a much greater economy, and as a result is doing well for itself. Thor almost kills off a Tempest and gets on out of there. The ground army is now basically nothing for the Protoss. The Tempest are really darn efficient here, but a Thor could potentially pick off 1 or 2, and I think a Thor will eventually pick off 1 or 2 of these Tempests. So far, yes, one did actually die there, so that's very problematic, and well done by VeTerran. I'm not sure what prompted it to change its attack location, because attacking just on into the Tempest didn't work, but all of a sudden we see a weakness in Sharkbot that is just attacking in another location. Like, it didn't really assign any units to defend this Nexus down here, and then we see the probe positioning not work out, and suddenly bigger flaws are exposed. The Tempest numbers are starting to dwindle as they make their heroic last stand. The battlecruiser getting some licks in, and this one Thor is looking for blood. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that's going to be the end of this one. Good to see a Terran bot able to stand up to a Protoss bot, to a late game bot. That a Terran bot that doesn't just use like battle cruisers anyway. Like, for example, I know there is bots with phenomenal late game, like Benbot, for example. But it feels better when there's like still bio units on the ground to watch almost. Although that being said, incredibly well done by Sharkbot. These bots are amazing to watch. And ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this one, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Discord, which is linked down below. Consider becoming a YouTube member. I shall see you guys next time. Thanks so much for tuning on in as we watch the rest of these buildings go down.